Hello students, my name is Jasveer Singh. I am the head of Civil Engineering Department at Chandigarh Polytechnic College. As we have discussed our fourth chapter already, so in this video I will discuss our fifth chapter as per your syllabus. The name of the chapter is Effective Stress. So in this chapter we will discuss what are the different stresses which are induced in the subsoil along with the importance of effective stress and principle of effective stress. So starting with the stresses in subsoil. So the force which develop in the subsoil between various soil particles, they are important to be studied because they are required in many soil mechanics and foundation engineering problems. So we can define the stresses in subsoil as they are the forces which are develops it develops in the subsoil between the soil particles at their point of contact per unit contact area are called contact stresses or subsoil stresses. तो जो फोर्सेस सब सॉइल में सॉइल पार्टिकल्स के जहाँ पे उनका पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट होता है, लेट्स से दीज आर द सॉइल पार्टिकल्स एंड दे आर कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर दैट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट. सो यहाँ पे जो फोर्सेस डेवलप होंगी, दोज फोर्सेस आर कॉल्ड कांटेक्ट स्ट्रेसेस और सब सॉइल स्ट्रेसेस. सो एट एनी प्लेन सॉइल मास जो हमारी टोटल स्ट्रेस और यूनिट प्रेशर होगा दैट इज द टोटल लोड पर यूनिट एरिया, और वो जो प्रेशर होगा दैट विल बी ड्यू टू दी first is self weight of the soil, the second is overburden on the soil. जो सॉइल सब सॉइल के बीच में टोटल स्ट्रेस होगी दैट इज ड्यू टू द सेल्फ वेट ऑफ द सॉइल, सॉइल का अपना जो वेट होगा. एंड सेकंड इज ओवरबर्डन ऑफ द सॉइल. ओवरबर्डन ऑफ द सॉइल जो हमारी ओवरलाइंग सॉइल होगी, एक सॉइल की लेयर के ऊपर सॉइल होगी, उसका जो वेट उसके ऊपर आएगा, उसकी वजह से भी जो फोर्सेस डेवलप होंगी दैट विल बी इन दी टोटल स्ट्रेस. तो हम टोटल जो हमारी स्ट्रेसेस हैं जो सॉइल में एक्ट करती हैं बिलो द वाटर टेबल, दे कैन बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स. फर्स्ट वन इज इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस एंड द सेकंड इज न्यूट्रल स्ट्रेस. हमारी जो टोटल स्ट्रेस सब सॉइल में एक्ट करती है दैट इज क्लासिफाइड इनटू टू टाइप्स, इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस एंड न्यूट्रल स्ट्रेस. जो इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस है दैट कैन बी आल्सो कॉल्ड इंटर ग्रेनुलर स्ट्रेस, and neutral stress is also called pore water pressure. Now we will define these all stresses one by one. So starting with the total stress. So total stress को define करने के लिए, as we already defined it, that is the total load per unit acting area. So इसको हम एक symbol से define करते हैं, that is called sigma. This symbol is called sigma and sigma is equal to P upon A. तो सिग्मा हमारा हो गया टोटल स्ट्रेस और P हो गया total load on the soil mass including self weight. And A will be cross sectional area on which this total load is acting. So be careful. Here we are taking total load on the soil mass including self weight of the soil also. So हमें जो self weight of soil होगा वो भी इसमें consider करना है while we are calculating the total stress. So to calculate the total stress for a saturated soil sample, consider you have a saturated soil sample with height h. So the weight, consider the weight of soil mass is B, which is given by the weight P of the soil mass is given by P will be equal to gamma saturated into H into A, where gamma saturated is the unit weight of water, not just unit weight, saturated unit weight of water. And H is equal to the total height of saturated soil, and A is again the cross-sectional area. So in this equation, if we fill the value of P as it is gamma saturated into H into A, we will get P की वैल्यू हम यहाँ पे गामा सैचुरेटेड इंटू एच इंटू ए फिल कर देते हैं और नीचे हमारा क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया सेम एज इट इज हम लिख देते हैं. सो दिस ए विल बी कैंसल्ड विद दिस ए एंड वी विल गेट गामा सैचुरेटेड इंटू एच. दैट इज द टोटल स्ट्रेस फॉर अ सैचुरेटेड सॉइल सैंपल. एंड आल्सो हम टोटल स्ट्रेस को डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, या टोटल स्ट्रेस विल बी इक्वल टू इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस plus neutral stress. So total stress is also defined as the sum of effective stress plus neutral stress. Now we will define what is effective stress and neutral stress. So starting with effective stress. Effective stress is simply the stresses which are transmitted from particle to particle at their point of contact. So suppose you are having soil particles. So these soil particles are having contact with each other at some contact points. Like this, soil particles are having contact with each other at these points. So at these points, the stresses will be transmitted from the above particles to the particles which are below. Those stresses are known as effective stresses or intergranular stresses. जो हमारी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस है, ये जो सॉइल पार्टिकल्स होंगे, इन पार्टिकल्स के बीच में पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट एक दूसरे को जहाँ पे ये कांटेक्ट करेंगे, वहां से जो स्ट्रेसेस हमारी ट्रांसमिटेड होंगी, जो पार्टिकल्स की वेट के कारण होंगी, उन स्ट्रेसेस को वी कैन कॉल इट इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेसेस और इंटरग्रैनुलर स्ट्रेसेस. सो इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस को हम डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, द स्ट्रेसेस transmitted from particle to particle of soil mass through their points of contact. Through their points of contact are known as effective stresses or we can also call effective stresses intergranular stresses, because these stresses are produced within the granulars, the grains of soil. So effective stress को calculate करने के लिए we can use the same equation that we have defined earlier, that the total stress is equal to effective stress plus neutral stress. So from this equation, we can get the value of effective stress, that will be equal to effective stress is equal to total stress minus neutral stress. So one more important thing, we can denote effective stress by the symbol sigma bar. As we have used this sigma for the total stress, for effective stress, we can use sigma bar. So after, we will define the neutral stress. So to find the neutral stress, suppose you are having soil particles. So in this and in those soil particles, there is a space, or you can say voids, in which water is present. So that water will exert pressure on all sides, which will try to separate out those soil grains. So suppose आपके पास soil particles हैं, these are soil particles, उन particle के बीच में खाली space है या voids हैं जहाँ पे पानी present है. So जो पानी होगा that will try to separate out those soil grains, उनको separate करेगा. That stress produced by the water is called neutral stress. So we can define neutral stress, the stress induced due to filling of pore water in the soil mass, which tries to separate out soil grains. Separate out the soil grains. और न्यूट्रल स्ट्रेस को हम जब डिनोट करते हैं, we can use this letter U, and U will be equal to gamma W into H. Gamma W here is the unit weight of water, and H is the height of saturated soil mass. Saturated soil mass. So by using this equation, let's suppose we are having a soil layer, saturated soil layer with height 2 meter, and we have to calculate the pore water pressure in the soil layer. So as we know that the unit weight of water is 1000, unit weight of water is 1000 kg per meter square. So we can multiply 1000 by the height of the saturated soil, then we will get the pore water pressure, which will be equal to 2000 kg per meter square. So pore water pressure को हम calculate कर सकते हैं by this equation, unit weight of water into height of the saturated soil mass, and also we can calculate this pore water pressure by the equation that we have defined earlier, that is the total stress equal to effective stress plus pore water pressure. So from that equation, we will get the value of pore water pressure equal to U is equal to total stress minus effective stress. So here U is equal to pore water pressure, this is the total stress, and this is the effective stress. After this, we will discuss the principle of effective stress. Principle of effective stress. So to discuss this principle of effective stress, let's consider you have a cylindrical mold. So that cylindrical mold is filled with cohesionless soil, let's say sand. and that cylindrical mold is having a piston which is provided provided with a air wall, and there's a load acting on that piston which is trying to compress these sand particles. So we are considering a rigid cylindrical mold in which dry sand is filled. This is the dry sand particles. So we have to assume that there is no side friction in this cylindrical mold. There is no side friction between the walls of the molds and the sand particles, and there is load applied on the surface of soil through the piston as shown in this figure. So this load is applied at the surface, is transmitted to the soil grains in the mold through their points of contact. ये जो हम लोड अप्लाई करेंगे पिस्टन से ये soil जो particles है उनमें ट्रांसमिट होगा. This will result in the compression of the soil mass in the mold. जो लोड अप्लाई करने के बाद we will see that there will be compression of these soil particles. ये जो height, let's say initial height जो है h है वो कम होके h1 रह जाएगी. That will become h1. So this compression of soil mass is mainly due to the elastic compression of soil grains or relative sliding between the particles. ये जो हमारी height में change होगा इसके दो reason हो सकते हैं. First reason is that is the elastic compression of soil grains, and the second reason can be relating sliding between particles. So the individual particle of the soil must deform as a result of the development of contact stresses. So if shear forces become larger at the contact surfaces, the particles slide over one another as I'm going to draw here. So let's say we have three before loading situations. The first situation, the particle below is the smaller than the above particles. This is before loading. So after loading, we will see that the particle which is below that will remain in the same shape, but the particle which is above that will become like this. So in this situation, we can say that there is a enlargement of the contact area. जो हमारा contact area था, जो यहाँ पे जो contact area था between these two particles, वो ज़्यादा बड़ा हो जाएगा. So in this case, there will be enlargement of contact area. In the second situation, what we will see that we are having plate-like or flaky particles, and the particle which is above is almost rounded, and this is before loading situation. And after loading, we will see that the particle or the flaky-like particle will bend like this due to the load coming over it, and the above particle will remain in the same shape. So in this case, we are seeing that bending occurs, which is causing this flaky-like particle to bend like this. And in the third case, suppose there is a particle which is bigger in size as compared to the particle which is above on it, and this is before loading equation. And after loading, we will see that a smaller particle will try to slide down. This particle will try to slide down and can change its position, and this situation is known as sliding. So we can say in this situation, sliding is occurring. So if the sectional area of the cylinder is A, The effective stress at any section is given by sigma bar is equal to P upon A. सो अगर हमारा सेक्शनल एरिया इस सिलेंडर का ए है तो हमारी जो इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस होगी दैट इज गिवन बाय टोटल जो हमारा टोटल लोड अप्लाई कर रहे हैं डिवाइडेड बाय द क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया. So this effective stress is responsible for the deformation of soil mass. ये जो हमारी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस है दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दी जो हमारी डिफॉर्मेशन हो रही है सॉइल मास की, यहाँ पे जो हाइट चेंज होगी. सो फ्रॉम दिस डिस्कशन इट इज क्लियर दैट द सॉइल मास डिफॉर्म्स अंडर द इफेक्ट ऑफ एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस partly due to the formation of individual particles and partly due to the relative sliding of particles. So ये जो हमारी डिफॉर्मेशन होगी, ये जो हमारी हाइट h से h1 होगी, वो उसका एक तो रीजन हो सकता है कि जो हमारी डिफॉर्मेशन हो रही है इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल्स की, एंड द सेकंड रीजन इज दिस स्लाइडिंग which is occurring between these soil particles. So this rearrangement of soil particles within the soil mass is responsible for the decrease in the void ratio, or you can say increase in the shear strength of soil. तो हमारी जो डिफॉर्मेशन होगी, जो हमारा वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज होगा, इस वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज की वजह से हमारी शेयर स्ट्रेंथ सॉइल की बढ़ेगी एंड वाइड रेशियो जो उसकी होगी डिक्रीज होगी. And after we will discuss the effect of pore water pressure. The effect of pore water pressure. So to understand the effect of pore water pressure, we have to consider a container which is filled with soil, or you can say sand, and this container is connected to another container and that container is B. So this container A is having a overflow outlet, and same on the other side container B is also having a outlet to for the water to overflow, and these both containers are filled by the water. This is your container A, this is your container B, and this is our soil which is saturated. So in the first case there will be no water, or you can say no water will overflow when the water is same in this both container. Water is at same level in this both containers. So पहली सिचुएशन में हमारा जो पानी होगा वो सॉइल में नहीं फ्लो करेगा, बिकॉज हमारे जो दोनों कंटेनर है उनमें जो पानी का लेवल है दैट इज सेम. ठीक है. सो इन द सेकंड केस अगर हम थोड़ा सा बी कंटेनर है उसको थोड़ी सी हाइट उसकी इंक्रीज कर देते हैं, वी आर कीपिंग दिस बी कंटेनर or raising the height of this B container slightly. So what we will see that हमारा जो कंटेनर ए में पानी होगा that will start to overflow, and that is due to the pore pressure which is increased at the base of the container. So at that point the movement of the soil particles takes place from bottom to the top, but the overflows in the container A holds the water in the water level surface constant. So this means that the increase in pore pressure at the base is compensated by the overflow of the water from the top. So हमारा जो पानी ओवरफ्लो होगा बिकॉज वी हैव इंक्रीज द वाटर लेवल एट इन दिस कंटेनर, वो उसका जो मेन रीजन होगा बिकॉज हमारा जो पोर प्रेशर है वो इंक्रीज होगा, एंड वी विल सी दैट ये सॉइल की मूवमेंट यहाँ से स्टार्ट होगी, बट वो जो मूवमेंट है वो बंद हो जाएगी बिकॉज हमारा जो प्रेशर है, इंक्रीज इन पोर प्रेशर है, बेस पे वो कंपनसेटेड हो जाएगा वहां पे पानी ओवरफ्लो हो रहा है. सो दैट इज द केस 2. एंड केस 3 में क्या होगा? सपोज हमने जो कंटेनर बी है उसका लेवल काफी हाई कर दें. So when the water surface in the container B is kept much higher than the water surface in the container A. So in this case, what will happen? The soil will start boiling. ये जो soil होगी, that will start boiling, and ये पानी up, this water will come out, and the whole container will be filled with this boiling sand. So this means that the increase in pore pressure in the voids of the soil mass results in the increase in volume and decrease of the shear strength. जब हमारे पानी का जो पोर प्रेशर है उसको काफी ज्यादा इंक्रीज कर देंगे, उसकी वजह से क्या होगा? हमारी जो जिस सॉइल की वॉल्यूम है दैट विल स्टार्ट इंक्रीजिंग, एंड देयर विल बी डिक्रीज इन शेयर स्ट्रेंथ, बिकॉज इन पार्टिकल्स के बीच में जो स्पेस थी, जो पार्टिकल्स के बीच में बाइंडिंग थी, वो खत्म हो जाएगी ड्यू टू दी पोर प्रेशर. As we already know that particles के बीच में अगर पानी present होगा that will try to separate outwards soil grains, and इस condition को we can call quicksand condition. So it should be remembered that the quicksand condition does not occur in the clay deposit, since the cohesive force between the soil grains prevent soil from the boiling. ये जो हमारी quicksand condition होगी ये sand में होगी, cohesive soil पे नहीं होगी, because जो हमारी clay soils या cohesive soils होती हैं उनके बीच में जो forces होती हैं like cohesive forces होती हैं, they prevent them from boiling. So ये quicksand condition है which is commonly found in the marshy land. जो हमारे दलदली लैंड होते हैं वहाँ पे this quicksand condition is normally found. So from this discussion we have found that the effect of pore water pressure, कैसे pore water pressure की वजह से हमारी जो soil है उसके behavior में changes होते हैं. So first जो conclusion that we have found from this discussion, that is the change in volume of soil occurs due to the rearrangement of the soil particles, and soil mass deforms partly due to the deformation of individual particles and partly due to the relative sliding of particles. So under the action of external load, the volume generally decreases. So as we have discussed in the previous topic, that in the principle of effective stress, जो हमारा soil की mass में deformation होती है, that is partly due to the individual जो particles होते हैं उनकी deformation की वजह से, और partly जो उनकी relative sliding होती है. तो under the action of external load जो volume उनकी decrease होती है. और दूसरी जो हमारी कंक्लूजन हमने फाइंड आउट की है, दैट इज द चेंज इन वॉल्यूम ऑकर्स ड्यू टू द पोर वाटर प्रेशर. as the pore water pressure increases in the soil voids, there is an increase in the volume due to the relative movement of particles. So in this pic we have seen that due to the increase in pore water pressure in voids, there is increase in volume of this soil sample. Thus the net stresses which is finally effective in this effective in the decreasing the void ratio and increasing the shear strength of the soil mass is effective stress is equal to the टोटल स्ट्रेस माइनस पोर वाटर प्रेशर. सो जो हमारी जो टोटल जो हमारी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस होगी वो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है जो हमारी शेयर स्ट्रेंथ को इंक्रीज करने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगी, और उसको हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं टोटल स्ट्रेस में से हमारी ये जो पोर वाटर प्रेशर है उसको माइनस करके. सो नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट टॉपिक इज व्हाट इज द importance of effective stress in engineering problems. What is the importance of effective stress in the engineering problems? तो फर्स्ट हमने क्या फाइंड आउट किया कि हमारी जब इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस इंक्रीज होती है, हमारी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस जब इंक्रीज होगी, when this will go up, the compression of the soil takes place. जो हमारी soil होगी इसका compression उसमें होगा, उसमें जो voids होंगे वो remove हो जाएंगे, and that can result in the settlement of the structure built on such soil because the effective stresses are produced in the subsoil, और subsoil क्या already हमने structure को construct कर लिया है, the effective stress are increasing, there can be you can say compression of the soil can take place, and that will result in the settlement of the structure which are built on the soils. And second case में क्या हमने find out किया है why to कैलकुलेट इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस इज इंपॉर्टेंट इंजीनियरिंग प्रॉब्लम्स? जो हमारी शेयर स्ट्रेंथ होगी वो भी हमारी इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस पे डिपेंड करेगी। हमारी जो सॉइल की शेयर स्ट्रेंथ होगी will depend on effective stress. And how that effect depend upon effective stress? Because effective stress is changed, then shear strength also changes. Like the stability of slope, the earth pressure against retaining walls and the bearing pressure of soil depends on the shear strength of the soil. So the importance of effective stress can be well understood. In the third case, if the void ratio changes, then effective stress also changes. And the permeability of soil also depends on the effective stress. So as we have seen that effective stress जब बढ़ती है उसकी वजह से जो हमारे voids होते हैं वो रिमूव हो जाते हैं, दैट मीन्स void ratio में चेंज हो रहा है। एंड permeability में भी हमारा, अगर हमारी सॉइल जितनी ज़्यादा उसमें कंप्रेस होती जाएगी, कंपैक्ट होती जाएगी, उसकी परमेबिलिटी उतनी डिक्रीज होती जाएगी। सो दैट्स हाउ हमारी जो इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेस है वो परमेबिलिटी को भी इफेक्ट करती है एंड वाइड रेशियो भी को भी इफेक्ट करेगी। सो दैट वाज ऑल about your fifth chapter. If you have any query, you can always mail me at hodcecpc@gmail.in. I'm going to write it here, hodcecpc@cumail.in. Okay, thank you.